And we're live. All right, first episode, Sorta Mazing live stream. First time I'm doing this, so this is definitely testing things out, see how things go. Really nervous, but I'll get over the jitters. So, uh, right now we don't have anybody in. I'm gonna give it a little bit, and whew. All right, so this is my plan on is to do this. I'd like to do this every Thursday if this goes well. If this doesn't go well, then I'm gonna make some changes and still probably try to do this every Thursday night around 7 o'clock. Um, I just made a new gaming channel. I plan on doing some streaming over there. Uh, the first game I plan on doing is Pal World. I would like to get that started by Sunday night. And in case you're new to the channel, this is Sorta Mazing. I talk about entertainment. I talk about film, TV shows, pop culture, anything in the entertainment industry. So let's get that started. The first things first, I did a video earlier in the week talking about how Rey from Star Wars, the new upcoming Star Wars movie, it's titled New Jedi Order, which is the Rey movie that everybody's so looking forward to because everybody loves Rey, right? Um, there was news on here on World of Real that the movie had been delayed indefinitely due to the backlash over the Rey movie getting announced initially, and then there was more behind the scenes news that they were talking about where the writer was looking forward to their next project, which was a Peaky Blinders movie. And they were busy working on that script, and they didn't care anymore about working on this script because the script that they turned into the Lucasfilm got sent back with so many notes that they basically had to rewrite the whole thing, and they wanted to exit the project. Well, we're a little bit unsure if this is true right now. This is just a rumor. News quickly came out. And here's Game Rant also talking about the rumor. New Jedi Order suffers serious setback according to rumor, and I love it thumbnail. And but soon after we got word from Screen Rant that Lucasfilm confirms Rey Star Wars movie hasn't been delayed, which is weird. I'm gonna take them at their word for it, but at the same time, in this same article, they talk about how they were indeed having problems with the script. They are doing a lot of rewrites with the script, trying to get the script just right. But then again, there's no delays, so there's got to be some delays going on. I don't know. The original story for World of Real claims to have some sort of insider knowledge. They claim to know somebody who works at Lucasfilm. They couldn't say who. So, and it's kind of weird that we're going on all these years without a Star Wars movie, and you think that the Rey trilogy, the Rey movies, would be the ones that they really would want to push the story forward. But instead, what they're focusing on is the Mandalorian Grogu movie. And I get it that the Mandalorian show is popular. The Rey movies definitely were not popular. They still made a lot of money, but in 2024, if you come out with a Rey movie, I don't think it's going to make a lot of money. I think they're going to lose money on that one. But a Mandalorian Grogu movie probably will make money as long as they keep that budget down to a reasonable rate. So I think the Rey movie is just a bigger gamble in the long run. But yeah, a Mandalorian Grogu movie. People love Mandalorian. I watched the first two seasons. I didn't care nothing about watching the third season. I don't know what it was. I don't know if by the end of the second season they just lost me. But I had no hype whatsoever going into the third season. I didn't even bother watching it. And a lot of people out there felt the same way. A lot of people didn't bother watching it, or they fell out of it halfway through the season. So I don't know. Is the popularity of Mandalorian the same as it used to be? I don't think so. It's still probably gonna make a lot of money because it does have that Star Wars name. It does have the Mandalorian Grogu behind it. So I think it is a smarter bet to go with that than the Rey movie. So we'll have to see in the future what comes of this. I'm still holding out hope that they cancel the whole thing quietly. They'll never outright cancel it, say, hey, this isn't going to happen. But they could sweep it under the rug, not talk about it for 6 months, and hopefully people forget about it. That's kind of similar to what we've had to some other Star Wars movie. And I know that they canceled the Rian Johnson trilogy. They canceled the Patty Jenkins movie. There's another guy. There's a couple other Star Wars movies that never really came to fruition, but that they may still have them on the docket. So they may have not officially canceled them, but I doubt that they'll be coming out. So yeah, so I kind of screwed up on this. It makes me look bad because this was a rumor, and I didn't state that in my video that it was a rumor. So that's on me. That makes me look bad. I'm representing it as a state of fact instead of a rumor. And then a couple days later we get, hey, Lucasfilm came forward. They said it's not delayed, and it makes me look bad. So I do apologize for that. That's a rookie mistake on my part. But I should have said in the original video, this is a rumor. Take this with a grain of salt. But I didn't put it. We still don't have anybody. This is a brand new stream, and I didn't declare ahead of time that I was going to do a live stream, so I'm not surprised we don't have anybody just yet. But this is my first stream, and really the main point of this video is for me to get over the nerves. This is more of a personal thing. I was stressing pretty bad before I hit that live button, and so if I can get more comfortable on the camera, I'm used to making these 1-minute shorts, doing all the editing. I got even a script that I read from, so going off the cuff, talking directly to the camera. This is something a little new, but I'm feeling a little better about it. I think it's going to get easier as we go along. Let's move on to the next story. I talked about this Lost Souls, and I had a lot of appreciation when I found this. Like, to put Star Wars on, it's another Star Wars story, to put Star Wars on Front Street with as blunt of an attitude that this song had. I love it, just shoving it into the faces of the people that are in denial that Star Wars is dead, that Star Wars is in very steep decline at the very least. And they put it on Front Street as to why that is. I love it. I pulled up this specific video here. This isn't the official Lost Souls channel. It's not the official video, but I pulled this up because it's a lyric video, and some of the words are a little hard to understand if you're not used to this type of music. So I pulled up a lyric video, and I haven't put in the description to where you can find the official video, but I will. I'll have it in the description so you can find it and check it out for yourself, the whole video. We're not going to watch the whole thing. We're just going to watch a little piece. Let's see here. My childhood became alive the day that Luke Skywalker died from being tired. How the fuck did Jedi die from being tired? My childhood became alive the day that Han Solo just died, and I didn't cry. I should have cried. I should have cried. I should have cried when I died. So, like, most of the complaints that you're going to find, that you're listening to here, that comes directly from the last Jedi. And so there's been a lot to happen since then, but I would argue that it's only gone downhill since then. Rise of the Skywalker wasn't any better. I think the Last Jedi was really the killing blow that killed Star Wars, and ever since then you've had a decay. Right, it's dead, but it hasn't fully decayed just yet. You're seeing it over time, and the you kind of see it with the streaming services. I didn't even watch the show, the Ahsoka show. Like I didn't watch it. I don't know anybody who did. I know there's some hardcore Ahsoka fans out there, and they may have really loved the show, but even if it was a great show, the fan base is in such bad decline that nobody cares about it. And that's the problem that we have with Star Wars, with Marvel, with a lot of things that Hollywood in general is putting out. people aren't watching these things. People are turning to more indie creators. People are turning to YouTube. People are turning to Twitch, Kick, Rumble, all these sort of things for their entertainment. And nobody cares about Hollywood. I have a movie collection of over 1,000 movies in my closet back here, and in some cardboard boxes. If I want to watch a movie, I just pick something from the 90s or early 2000s. Like, I don't care to watch much of what's coming out. The live action Avatar show comes out next month. I am looking forward to that. I think that comes out February 22nd. So I am looking forward to that. But that's about it as far as what's on the horizon. Let's take another look at this. Again, that's Childhood Died by Lost Souls. I do recommend them for anybody who loves this type of music, loves the old Star Wars, and is not really a big fan of the direction that they took. They did an excellent job, vocalizing their frustrations with where the brand is right now. I love it. Let's move on to Alec Baldwin. Okay, so as you know, as most people know, Alec Baldwin shot a camera operator, and I think she had another title as well. I think she was actually a big part of the process, the movie process. I can't remember exactly what her. It's a cinematographer. Okay, so Helena Hutchins. The bullet went through the camera, went through Helena Hutchins, and I think it went through a second person as well. But the second person lived. Helena Hutchins unfortunately did not. He was indicted. The initial charges were dropped initially because there was some questions as to whether or not the gun was working properly. And so the charges were initially dropped. Well, they've been brought forward, the charges once again, and he's been indicted again for involuntary manslaughter on the set of Rust. And I think it's kind of ironic because the guy that the movie is about goes on the run because he's up for hanging for an accidental shooting I don't know how they died. I'm thinking it was an accidental shooting, and so he's on the run because he doesn't want to get hanged. And it's ironic, shooting this thing and then you have an accidental shooting, which results in a death. It's just terrible. Now, everybody has their opinions. People are saying, well, it was all the armor's fault. Other people are saying that it's all Alec Baldwin's fault. All I can say, and the armor has been charged as well, that she's going through her own stuff. But all I can say is that, from what I understand, and if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. I'm not standing by this 100%. I'm not putting everything behind this. I'm just letting you know how I understand the situation, and I could be wrong. The armorer checks the gun, makes sure it's working properly. She checks that the bullets that the gun is loaded with are blanks. She hands the gun to the actor, which in this case Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin then checks the gun himself, does a secondary check to make sure that it's loaded up with blanks, and once everything is confirmed, then the scene will go on, or in this case, I think they were practicing where the gun should be whenever it was firing. They were doing with blocking to make sure that he's in the right position for the camera. The camera wasn't actually rolling. They were just trying to get the right position to get the scene just right, whenever they do shoot. So the new investigators, it says on here what their names are. That they took this off to get forensic testing on it. What's the guy's name? Okay, Lucian and Michael Hagg. They sent this off to these supposed experts. I don't know much about these guys, but they're supposedly experts. They determined that the gun was in fact working properly. There was nothing wrong with it. That in order for the bullet to come out of that barrel, that the trigger had the hammer had to be pulled back and the trigger had to be pulled. The exact quote: although Alec Baldwin repeatedly denies pulling the trigger, given the test findings and observations reported here, it says that the fatal incident was the consequence of the hammer being manually retracted to its fully rearward and cocked position, followed at some point by the pull or rearward depression of the trigger. So it had to be pulled. But the weird part is that because they were doing blocking, they wasn't actually shooting the shot. He was just supposed to get in the position. He was never actually supposed to pull the trigger. That wasn't even supposed to be part of their activities that they were doing. But again, it was still supposed to have a blank in it that Alec Baldwin should have already checked at that point. So common gun laws, common sense tells you that when you're handed that gun, you're responsible for that gun. Like, I know that Armor, they have their duty on set, but if this is true and the actor is supposed to double check to make sure that it's loaded with blanks instead of real bullets before using the gun, I don't see how this isn't an open and shut case. I don't understand how he could be innocent of this, actor or not. Like, it doesn't matter if he's on a set. He was handed a gun. He checked to see if it was loaded with real bullets versus blanks. He pointed the gun. He pulled the trigger. It resulted in the death of Helena Hutchins. That's black and white. That's as simple as you can put it. Like, it seems like an open and shut case for me, but a lot of people say because it's a set, he gets special privileges. There's special rules that are involved when you're on a set. I don't. That's bullcrap. As BS. I don't. It doesn't make no sense. Let's move on. Okay. Next, I talked about It's a Wonderful Life getting a modern, more inclusive remake. You can look at these red flags when you see more inclusive, for a modern audience, a retelling, because there's something wrong with the classic. There's something wrong with how it was originally told. It was whitewashed. We got to add some more culture to this thing. All these different buzzwords that they add in there to try to make sense as to why they're doing what they do. When in reality, they just hate white people. I mean, just put it plain and simple. They hate white people. They hate a lot of these majority white movies, and another part of it is they're just simply out of ideas. They're out of ideas. They want to push this project to an already established audience to try to take some of the load off their back for marketing, which it seems like more often than not it blows up in their face and they lose money. Like, I don't understand how many times you got to repeat the same sort of circumstance and it fail and you don't see the results. I don't understand this for Hollywood, but It's a Wonderful Life is getting a modern, more inclusive remake. Kenya Barris, which I believe this is the director for the new project, recently did an interview with Variety while attending Sundance Film Festival, where he confirmed that he is working on rebooting the film with Paramount. I feel like Christmas movies are amazing, and I think the idea of taking something that has that long of a history and a tale behind it and putting an amazing piece of talent to tell the story. Barris told the outlet, the director, who's best known for creating the ABC sitcom Blackish and directing the Disney Plus remake of White Men Can't Jump, also revealed that he thinks the plot of It's a Wonderful Life lends itself perfectly to people of color perspective. I'm curious. He's doing a remake of White Men Can't Jump. Okay. I'm curious as to how he's going to do that. It came out in 2023. I haven't seen it. So is it already out? If you've seen it, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Did they somehow race swap the white man that can't jump and now it's a black man that can't jump? I don't know. But that seems to be a forte of all these new movies coming out. So I don't know. I don't know if I love the original. The original with Woody. If you haven't seen it, it's got Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes. Excuse me. Where Wesley Snipes is this awesome basketball player, and this white goofy guy Woody Harrelson comes over and he tries to hustle them by being this scrawny white guy that can't play basketball until he gets them to bet a lot of money on it, and then all of a sudden he's awesome at it. And then they Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson teams up to do like a street tournament. I don't know. I can't remember how it goes there from there, but I do recommend it. It's rare that Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson would let you down and make something that's a piece of crap anyway. If those two are in it, you're gonna like it. Anyway, so yeah, I don't understand what the point of this movie is. I don't understand why this is a thing, why this needs to get made. By casting a person of color lead, Barris's film will be considerably more inclusive than the original. Critics have previously pointed out some of the film's more unsavory elements, such as the use of cinematic stereotype with the character of Annie, a black woman who serves as the Bailey family's maid. Although It's a Wonderful Life was in many ways a deeply progressive, compassionate, and anti-capitalist piece of work, it was not immune to the pervasive racial biases of the time. Yeah, and that's excuse me, let me get a drink of water. And every movie you have to, every older movie you kind of have to give it a little bit of grace. You have to understand that it is a piece of art from its time. And this movie in particular was very original. Somebody's going to call me out on this and be like, no, somebody else did this earlier than that. And maybe. But this definitely popularized the idea of, let's see what the world would look like if I didn't exist. And then you come to the realization that it's actually better with me in it. Like that's as far as I know, that was a brand new idea with this movie, and it created a new type of way to tell a story. This sort of story. And he's down on his luck. He wants to end it all, and then through the magic of this scenario of seeing what it would be like without him, he comes to realize that he is making a positive change in the world. And it's a lovely thing. It's a beautiful movie. It's a little bit too long. I wish it was cut down, but I don't know. It's a classic Christmas movie. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. Watch it every Christmas. All right, next we're going to Madam Web, tracking for worst box office opening than Morbius. That is sad. Like, that is awful. Morbius, for those who don't know, was a Sony Marvel movie. It's not part of the MCU, but it's a Sony Marvel movie, and it came out in theaters twice, not once, but twice, and still didn't pull in a profit. I believe it only had only like an $80 million budget. It was a pretty low budget, but you gotta times that by two basically, because you also had to cut in the cut for the theaters. The theaters take half. And then you have to put in 50 to 100 million. I'd say close to 100 million for marketing. And after you figure up all those numbers, it still did not pull in a profit, even though it was in theaters twice. It's sad. But it was considered a major flop. And yet the tracking numbers for the Madam Web movie coming out February 14th is looking worse than Morbius. If I'm not mistaken, you're right here. 25 million to 35 million is the money that they're projected to come in its opening weekend. And if you say that it has, let's say 35 million at best, 35 million. That's being optimistic about it. Opening weekend. It's going to make a little bit of money throughout the week, but if you look at its second weekend box office numbers, these drop-offs are usually around 60%, which means if it's a 60% drop, it's only going to make $14 million on its second weekend. Like, this movie is going to be a colossal failure, and I don't understand. I don't understand what they were thinking about doing this. Like, if you know Madam Web, if you know the actual Madam Web from the comic books, which I was originally introduced to Madam Web from the '90s Spider-Man animated series, so that was my Spider-Man growing up. I didn't get into comics until I was like 25, so I actually have the Madam Web first appearance comic right now in a long box. So I have every incentive to root for this movie, to say, hey, I hope this movie is successful. I hope it's very popular. I hope it takes off and makes $1 billion, because that first appearance comic is probably going to increase in value. But that's not going to happen with this movie. Like, they've tried to build up the trailers and make it look good, and they try to show off the costumes as much as possible. But we all know that the costumes are not going to show up until the last 20 minutes of the movie, if that. And I think I'm being generous with that. The majority of the movie is going to be an origin story. It's going to be her trying to figure out what's going on, trying to figure out her powers, teaming up with these other two females, and the majority of the movie is going to be this. It kind of reminds me of a teen WB, cheesy TV show that I don't know anybody watches these sort of TV shows. I like the Smallville show back in the day. That's pretty much the only WB show. I watched a few seasons of Arrow, a few seasons of Flash, but what was that? There was a school WB teen show where the video they always seem very glossy and just very overproduced, sort of. I don't know, but that's kind of what this reminds me of, is those cheesy WB shows. And I don't see this is going to be a bomb, and I'm going to love every minute of it. I mean, I'm loving roasting it right now, and there's going to be videos for me to make in the future saying how terrible this is, and it's going to give me content for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks. So, yeah, everything has a silver lining. Let's see here. Last thing I want to talk about is Pal World. There's a big controversy coming out Pal World. I think Twitter specifically, there's the Pokemon diehard fans that say, oh, they cheated, they copied Pokemon, they just took Pokemon things and they ran it through an AI, and here we go, this is a ripoff. No, I don't think it is. I mean, it's a very black and white concept. It either is Pokemon or it's not. I mean, there's a reason that Digimon still exists. There's a reason that they were able to come out with Monster Rancher back in the day. Like, the idea of having monsters that you collect in a TV show, in a movie, in a video game, whatever, like, that's not something that Pokemon owns. Like, Pokemon owns those characters. They own Ash. They own Pikachu. They own these sort of popular brandable IPs. But the concept of catching monsters, you can't own that. That's a mechanic, and it's a game mechanic. You can't own that. And I can't wait to play this game. If I don't change my mind, I'm going to try to do a live stream on my new gaming channel, Sorta Mazing Gaming. And I'm gonna do this Sunday night. I'm gonna start a new Pal World map, and I've started a map already. I played through the first day just to get a feel for how it plays. But I'm going to start a brand new map starting Sunday night. I'm going to hopefully play for an hour and a half at least. And I'm going to try to do that a couple times a week on my Sorta Mazing Gaming channel. So hopefully that takes off. Hopefully people like that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think Pokemon can do anything about this. They can sue Pal World. You can sue a ham sandwich. You can sue anybody, anything for whatever reason you want. But they're not going to get anywhere with this. At the very most, they're going to cause the creators of Pal World to have some litigation costs, which is going to be a pain in the butt. But they've already made a ton of money. I heard earlier today that they made over $8 million in the first 6 days. That is nuts. I think I bought it for $26, something like that. 26 times 8 million. Do the math. But they have made a ton of money, and that's still going. I also heard that they had a 2 million concurrent active player base at one point. I don't know if that's the peak. I don't know, but even if that is the peak, that's nuts. That's insane. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. For people who don't know, it is kind of a mixture between a game like Pokemon, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, kind of like Ark, if you've ever played Ark. There's a lot of games kind of mixed in there. Plus, there's weapons, there's bows and arrows, there's guns, there's machine guns, there's rocket launchers. It's nuts. You can build your own bases, so it's got a little bit of a building in there. You know, not really like Minecraft, but it's got some building. You build your own base. You can. I'm pretty sure you can garden. You can do a lot of stuff. I don't even know what all you can do in this. You can ride around on the pals is what they're called. They're not called Pokemon. They're called pals. You can ride around on them on land. You can ride around flying. It looks amazing. It looks like what Pokemon should have been 5-10 years ago. Like that Pokemon has gotten lazy and they're giving us the same game over and over again. And I don't have to tell you that. If you're a Pokemon fan, you've seen this time and time again, that the last 3, 4, 5 games that they put out, that they're just recycling old concepts to give it back to you, except for Pokemon Legends Arceus. I really enjoyed that game. I beat it. I dedicated some of my after I beat it, I dedicated a bunch of time to getting a bunch of specific shinies. I loved playing that game. And I thought moving forward that they would take some of those concepts and they would give us more of that and even add on to it and give us something even better. But they didn't. They took a step back and they fell back into what's comfortable for them. This comfort zone of rehashing the same old crap over and over again. And that's the reason that this game exists in the first place, is because of a lack in the marketplace. The fans screamed out to the Pokemon Company what they want, and we didn't get it. So there was a hole in the marketplace, and that hole has been filled by Pal World. Like this is what the fans have been screaming out for forever, and that's why they made $8 million in 6 days. That's why it's causing such a big splash in the video game industry. Like, and this is the same. This goes with Hollywood as well. Give the audience what they want, and you'll see dollars. You know, they'll get their wallet out. They'll pay any amount of money you want if you just listen to your audience and give them what they want. And that's exactly what Pal World did. And I'm looking forward to playing it. I hope you join me Sunday night when I start on my gaming channel, Sorta Mazing Gaming, and. That's really it. That's all I got for you. I was hoping that this live stream would go on for an hour, but I don't got much else to say. I will say this. There was a YouTube channel that I really loved, and it was this YouTube channel called Bannock, Bannock, and he did a lot of AI Vegeta covers. And let's see here. I can give you kind of a taste of what I'm talking about. The problem is, though, is that this channel, they had a lot of Vegeta rock covers. There were some Disturbed songs. My favorite one was Vegeta doing a Disturbed cover of a song called Bad Man, which I don't even think I ever even heard the Disturbed version of Bad Man. But I checked out the Vegeta version, and I love this thing. I was listening to that song every day. And then the channel disappeared. Just like that, just gone. All the videos gone. I can't search for the channel anymore. I can't find any of his content anymore. I guess the channel got struck down and is not around anymore. Maybe he'll appeal it. Maybe he'll get his channel back. I hope he does, because that Bad Man song, I think it was a better version of the song than Disturbed. I think he did a better job than Disturbed. It was amazing. But I'll give you a little taste of this isn't the channel I was talking about. This is another random channel, but this is Vegeta singing a different Disturbed song, Stricken. I'll just play a little piece of it. We're not going to listen to the whole thing.
Woman in suffering, one leap and mother, none to tell me why. Lift up my load, and they know my boss is safe a long night. Leaving me go, till another time.
So that gives you some idea, but that doesn't even come close to as good as the I can't remember what the channel was called now. Bannock, Bannock. His bad man song. It was outstanding. Like if that channel, keep an eye on it. If that channel comes back, I do highly recommend that. Anyway, that's gonna be all for me. I got my socials there right on the screen. My YouTube, Instagram, Rumble, Twitter. Right now on my Rumble channel, I don't have really much any content whatsoever, but because I'm starting to do these live streams, I'm also going to put the live streams on there as well. So I'm going to start having content again. So you know, if you're a fan of Rumble, you'll start seeing my stuff there. Again, check Sorta Mazing Gaming, as I'm going to start doing gaming streams. Hopefully starting Sunday night, and that's all I got for you today. So take it easy, take care, and we'll